Ever since the Odyssey came out, the movie Troy has gotten more and more attention. Troy has been one of my favorite movies ever since I was a kid, but as I watch it now, I have a deeper understanding of the themes of the story. I originally wanted to make a video comparing Hector and Achilles, which I still might do, but I feel like that's been done so many times already. But after digging deeper, I think the most interesting part of the story for me is what I'm calling the great man paradox, or the hero's paradox. And after further research, rewatching the movie, I think this is the most important theme to understand from the movie Troy, because it's so important for the hero's journey archetype, and the hero's journey just is a representation of our very lives. But before we get into that, I'm going to be giving away $50 in this video and every video going forward to a random commenter who is subscribed and liked the video. So like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to enter for your chance to win the $50 giveaway. Now back to the video. Before the Greeks sail to Troy, Achilles consults his mother, a goddess, about whether he should sail to Troy or stay behind. His mother tells him that if he stays, he will fall in love and he will have a family. She tells him that his kids, his grandkids, and his grandkids' kids and their grandkids will remember him, but eventually his name will be lost to history. But she also tells him that if he does go to Troy, glory will be yours, but you will never return, because your glory walks hand in hand with your doom. And she tells him that his name will live on forever. Essentially, the question posed to Achilles is love and comfort, or glory and destiny? Achilles, for now at least, obviously chooses glory and destiny, and he sets sail to Troy with the Greek army. And as kids, we think Achilles is so cool. We want to be like Achilles because he doesn't want a boring family life. He wants glory and destiny, and we're allured by that. But like Achilles, when we are kids, we haven't truly experienced love, so we don't really know what we would be giving up. Achilles doesn't know what he's giving up when he chooses glory and destiny over love and family. When Achilles arrives in Troy, he quickly proves that he is the greatest warrior of this age, and his mere presence alone completely changes the battlefield. But then he meets a girl named Briseis. And quick side note, the scene where Achilles explains to Briseis that the gods envy us because we are mortal, everything is more beautiful because we are damned, our choices matter, our decisions mean something, is one of the best movie scenes of all time. It's so beautiful. And before that rant that Achilles goes on, Briseis sees Achilles as a dumb brute and just a violent warrior. But then she sees him as this wise philosopher type who has deep knowledge and a deep understanding of the gods. And then she starts to feel attraction towards him and then eventually falls in love with him. And I think this is a good depiction of what women want. They want a strong and capable man who can also stimulate them intellectually. But that's beside the point. Eventually, Achilles and Briseis fall in love, and now Achilles begins to question, why is he fighting for a king that he does not respect? He has now tasted love, and he realizes that this arbitrary future glory and fame that happens after he is dead can't really compare to the experience of love now, the experience of family and love in the moment. And he begins to understand that sacrificing love and family for glory and destiny is maybe not such a good trade. And now is a good time to bring Hector into the mix. Hector is in a way the opposite of Achilles. Hector cherishes his family, Hector cherishes his wife, and love above all else. Achilles fights for glory, while Hector fights for love of family and love of country. Hector stands for honor, and as we get older and mature, I think we relate more to Hector and we appreciate Hector more, whereas kids, we just want to be Achilles because Achilles is so cool. Or at least that's how it happened for me. But why I'm referring to this as a paradox, or the hero's paradox, is because both of their fates are intertwined. Achilles was ready to walk away from the war, but fate dragged him back and into a duel with Hector. Hector had a loving family, but fate, duty, and honor dragged him into a duel with Achilles. It was one of those things that was meant to happen. It was an unavoidable canon event. So Achilles kills Hector in an epic duel where Hector fought bravely and honorably. He was a man who didn't want glory or some great destiny. He wanted to love his wife and his son. He even says that he wanted to watch his son grow old and see all the girls chase after him. Hector chooses love, but fate never really lets you make that choice. It's almost like the moment you choose love, In some way, it is stripped away from you in favor of destiny. And this is something that I can very much relate to. There was a moment in my life where I decided I don't need to do the things that I feel compelled to do anymore, because I decided that I was happy and I was in love, and that was good enough for me. And it's actually comical in so many ways, because the very day where I decided that I'm going to let go of my dreams in favor of just love is the very day where I lose love. And on some level, that feels like it just can't happen coincidentally. It feels like some level of divine intervention that says, oh, you're gonna forego your destiny, you're gonna forego your dreams for love? Well, I'm gonna take love away from you. And we see this in both Hector and Achilles' story. And I think that's why the story of Achilles is so compelling to me, because the moment Achilles chooses love over his destiny, well, fate has a way of not letting us make that choice. And what sucks is ultimately it's a bad trade. You can never trade love for something else and win. But at the very least, maybe you find meaning, maybe you get your glory, maybe you get yourself back on path for what is truly your destiny. And Hector knows it's a bad trade, but he's forced to do it because of fate. And Achilles eventually also realizes that it's a bad trade. And I think on some level, this is the sacrifice that is necessary to become a great man or to be the hero. And the saddest part about all of this is, in the end, Achilles still tries to have both. He had his moment of glory and sacked the city of Troy. And his goal to find Briseis, on some level, yes, it's to just make sure she's safe and gets out. But I think also deep down, he wants to find her and run away with her and have that life with her. But the hero doesn't get to have both. And that's why it's a paradox. And when he does find her, in true tragic fashion, Paris puts an arrow through him and then puts countless more arrows through him. And eventually Achilles falls and dies. And I promise you, in his head, he is wishing that he chose love and family over destiny and glory. In that moment, as he's dying, he is realizing that he didn't really know what he was giving up, but ultimately that was his destiny. And to give more practical advice about what this means, there may come a time in your life where you find yourself falling in love, or you find yourself completely in love, and you finally realize that actually, yes, love is everything. There may also come a time where you lose that love, and you are completely and utterly heartbroken. And there is nothing I can say that will make that any easier, but you have to understand that on some level, that is fated. You weren't on the path that you are meant to be on. And while no trade can make up for it, make sure you find meaning, purpose, glory, or you just get back on track for what your destiny is, because otherwise it is just unnecessary suffering. You have to use it as fuel to do what you are meant to do. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to enter the $50 giveaway below. Thank you.